What up, Tile friends? Hope everybody's having a beautiful Monday. Happy Labor Day. That is the day today, and I hope you've enjoyed it and took some break from your labor. And if you were working like I was, I imagine that you're working on a much larger vision, and you got to get it done. And that's the way it goes. Being raised around a lot of farmers, I learned how to make hay while the sun shines. And sometimes that's what we got to do as business owners. Hey, if you're enjoying this podcast, but you wish you had a little bit more guided assistance, join me this October. We're going to the Phenomenal Profits Conference. You can learn more in the link wherever you're watching or listening to this Monday Motivation. Today, we're going to be talking about changing your world. Yes, change your world and see what happens. Now, a lot of people might want to change the world, and that is a big task indeed. But I see a lot of folks, kind of being what do they call that? A lazy boy quarterback there on that. But I can't tell you how to change the world. I honestly can't. And however, though, I can, congratulate you on your lofty goal there, and it would be nice. But I have a reasonable thing to talk about today, and that's changing our own world. Changing the people we are around, changing the way people see us and view us and interact with us every single day. This can be good for your individual life, your personal life, but of course it can be good for business. If you can change your interactions for the better, when you're doing business transactions or attempting to, this is going to work out a lot better for you. And why are we concerned about changing, our individual worlds? Well, it's been said that if you're constantly running into, sorry about that. It's been said that if you're constantly running into jerks, you might be the jerk, And so if we want to change our world for the better, it has to start with us. We have to show up with the intention to have a good day, to have a good interaction, to have a good business transaction. We have to show up with these intentions. We must be willing to change ourselves inside and attempt to change, our small worlds. If we can't do that, we can't change the big world. We can't change the big world at large. It's got to start here. It's got to start with each individual. And so the way you show up, yes, it does impact and change the way people see you and the way they interact with you. And in business, hopefully you're showing up to make a sale when you show up to sell your services, or you're answering your phone. What would happen if you only answer your phone or show up to make that sale with the contract in hand and you're only 50% there? You're only 50, 60% at your best. Maybe you have a hangover. Maybe you really are having a bad week and you show up with that attitude. You show up with a frown on your face. What if you go into a meeting because you kind of gotten into a bad streak? A lot of people text me or message me or talk in the groups and say, what happens when we have a bad streak, when we're losing one quote after another? Maybe you've lost 3 jobs in a row. Maybe you weren't able to win those jobs and now, you've only got a week, or maybe you're out of work right now. Well, if you show up to a prospective client with the expectation that you're going to lose that job because you lost the last 3 bids that you wrote, chances are you're going to lose that bid as well. And I know that it can be very difficult to break a depression even, or a bad streak, or just a bad day. But it is very important to learn how to break those bad days and to show up 100%, not 50, not 60, not 70. Show up 100% enthusiastic about your day, about the client or prospective client you're about to speak to, about anybody, even if they're just serving you coffee at the coffee shop. Show up with a smile. Show up with the intent to bring that person joy, to make that person's day better, because then and only then will they smile back in return. Then and only then will they give you 100% of themselves. Does that make sense? And all these little interactions that lead up to the one big business transaction or interaction that we're hoping to have do matter because it shapes your whole world. You know, if you show up with the intent that you're going to get stuck in traffic and your coffee's going to be, burnt, and you show up with the fact or the intent or the thinking or the belief that every single person that day on the road is going to be a jerk. And when you go into the grocery store, you show up with, a bad experience in your mind, you're going to continue to have these bad experiences. But when you show up with a new intent, you put on a new smile, you put on a new personality even for that day and for that sale. What would happen if you show up with the intent to land that sale? What would happen if you show up 100%? You're going to sell it. You're going to have a much higher probability of selling your service. Go into every single business appointment with the expectation for the best outcome for both yourself as well as your clients. You want the best outcome for your clients. Obviously, we all should and do, right? And you also want the best outcome for you personally and your business and your family. Those are not wrong things to want and to expect. So if things aren't going your way and you're having a rough go at it, don't lose heart. Because if you lose heart and one day leads to two, and a week, and 2 weeks, and a month, and months, and a year, you get stuck in this low energy vibe. Don't let a bad day or a bad week or even even if you've had a year of it, you've got to bring yourself out of that low energy vibe, those low expectations for yourself and others, and really move past it any way you can. There's a lot of different help. There's a lot of help out there to do that. I'll continue to share things with you like I did the other day on breath work. Breath work is one of the things that brings me back to reality, that allows me to self-reflect and say, why am I expecting bad things all the time? If I'm running into a-holes every day, maybe I'm the problem. And we all have to ask ourselves that honestly from time to time if we're having a bad go at it. And so if you lose a job or 3 or 5 potential clients, prospects in a row, just understand that, there's other circumstances that you can't see. So even on your way out, leave the way you came, with a big smile on your face and as friendly as you can be, and really wish for them sincerely, not out of some sort of smart remark, but really sincerely wish them the best outcome for their situation. And believe that you hope they can find a good contractor if they're not going with you. If you continue to allow yourself to be in a low vibration and you continue to almost feed negative feelings, maybe by what you're watching or listening to or intaking, that is where you will stay. But if you change your outlook and change maybe what you're putting into your brain and into your eyeballs and into your heart, it will start to change. You can change your intention for life. You can change your relationships with this. You create your own world. You create your reality. I see a lot of folks say there's bad comments in here, and maybe I read too fast, but I don't see them as often because I really expect that everybody is going to have worthwhile encouraging comments. And yes, it happens from time to time, but if I entertain those and give those too much thought without taking swift action and just eliminating the comment, maybe having a quick private conversation with the person, if I just sit and dwell on it, I'm going to continue to see negative comments. I'm going to continue to see negative people when I leave my house. And so show up with high expectations for both yourself and the people who are going to interact with you, and be kind and be happy. And yes, you can change your world. People will see you differently. You show up with a frown, you show up with this blue negative energy, a black cloud over your head. People respond to it. People are going to treat you the way you show up. It's as simple as that. And so don't be afraid to change your expectations for both yourself and the world. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hey, listen, if you're enjoying the TileMoney podcast or these snippets, leave us a review. The best place to do that is Apple Podcasts. If you have the Apple Podcast app, you can also do it on Facebook. I think we're even on Google. All right, Tile friends. Talk to you later. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good Monday. We've got a full episode tomorrow.